Welcome to Vision ProNotes. I'm Marty, a faculty member at a Midwestern university, a podcaster and an Apple product fan, and co-host of Vision Profiles along with Eric Bolden, Dave Ginsberg, and Daniel Burkholder. Vision Profiles, of course, happens on Monday nights. We live stream at youtube.com/@visionprofiles, Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the full show then, or you can catch it later on YouTube, or if you just want the audio component, you can catch it on any podcatcher service shortly after that. We post to the services to get the show out. So, ProNotes are some things that have come up over the week that we want to get out to our watchers, listeners, and short little bits that will fill you in on some of the news that we might be talking about the next week. And I'm recording this on Tuesday night. We did a show last night on Monday. A new version of the OS came out, visionOS Developer Beta 7. And although we were all able to load the beta on our headsets, there was no information at all in terms of release notes. A bunch of other betas came out for other products in the Apple line, and they had release notes that were updated to 7. But we didn't get it. So they came out today, and I was able to do a comparison of what you see in the visionOS Developer Beta 6 compared to the new Beta 7. And so that way we can look at what kind of changes have occurred in what the operating system is from one beta to another. And Apple does these release notes. They come out with every release of the betas. And we'll put a link in the show notes so you can find those and get an opportunity to read through them if you want to. They're pretty technical and pretty heavy. And some of it's confusing because you can't tell what are leftover notes from the Beta 6 that still are appearing in the Beta 7 notes. And that's where doing sort of a comparison between will give you a little bit more information about what's going on if there really are any significant changes. So that's what I did. If you're hoping for shiny new features, this one's about polish and not pop. So most of the changes that occurred in the Beta 7 doesn't add anything that you will immediately notice. Your day-to-day feels like Beta 6. There are some small quirks that are still listed in notes for occasionally seeing rough edges with the Mac Virtual Display, and then a few Safari oddities that are going on. Bottom line is, if you're looking to use the headset, this build is about stability and not necessarily new toys coming up, as we've heard will come up with the announcement of visionOS 26. So we're still in the developer beta process of making sure the OS 26 for Vision works without adding in all the bells and whistles. So here's the big no, a couple of big no's. No Jupyter environment yet. People have been waiting for this environment that they demoed with the OS when they were doing it at WWDC, that puts you on one of the moons of Jupiter, and you can watch Jupiter move across the sky as part of your environment that you're in. It's not there yet. We're probably going to have to wait for the final release candidate before we see anything. And then another thing that they promoted, which I think we're all excited about, is this panoramic virtual display. They talked about extending the virtual display so we can have this ultra-wide virtual display, but also adding curvature on it. So if you're sitting in a room, you have the large virtual display in front of you coming off your MacBook or coming off your your iMac or whatever you're using to connect for that purpose. And it fills your whole field of view and then curves a little on the side, like sort of like a curved monitor would be, one of those large curved monitors for you. So that's what users are not going to see. I saw a couple of things that I thought were interesting. One was, the one thing that I saw was really interesting for me, and I don't know. It might have been that I wasn't paying attention to it in previous releases. But when you turn on the headset and you get the apps up and your eyes are moving to the different apps, the app buttons kind of pop out of the screen to let you know you're looking at that particular app. And if you clicked your finger together at that point, it would activate the app and it open up on the headset. Well, it not only to me, and I noticed this, it might be the clarity of it, that they've made some changes in that or tweaking in it, but the button pops out, but you'll also see the image that's on the button kind of gets dimensional too. So if it's a flower, the flower petals will come off the button a little bit. And it really is just a little thing, but it really emphasizes the spatial environment. Again, I noticed it in this release. Maybe it was in previous releases and I never saw it, but it was pretty amazing for me to see that. For developers, there's one new callout that's occurring with it. Apple flags memory tool known issues where leak detectors can falsely report leaks in some Swift Objective-C bridged cases. All right, I just spoke a foreign language to myself, but I was able to read that statement that it seems to be, and I'll put all these notes in the show notes of the episode, of this episode of ProNotes, so will find it within the notes of either the podcast or the video cast of it. Just look. And you can, if you're a developer, you can interpret this the way you can interpret it. The translation is if your leak graphic suddenly lights up after updating, take a breath. It might be the tool, not your app. Otherwise, the development sections largely mirror what's in beta 6. So ARKIt, Metal, RemoteImmersiveSpace, StoreKit / SwiftUI, what you're going to see in this release of Beta 7, it's similar to what you saw in Beta 6. So for users, here's the vibe. Install it if you want to polish it, but don't expect new features. For devs, keep testing but treat the new leaks with suspicion and focus on regression passes. Again, Beta 7 is a stability pass. There are no new user face features versus Beta 6. And Beta 6 didn't have any new features either. And for devs, memory tools may misreport leaks in certain Swift Objective-C bridging scenarios. So that's about all we can share. Other things that are new for developments, again, repeating the possible false leaks. Most framework notes are effectively unchanged from Beta 6, as we mentioned. And it's a good week for regression testing and performance measurements if you're a developer and maybe not API exploration. So that is what we know about Beta 7 and the breakdown that we have. And this is Vision ProNotes. We do it on Monday mornings, Wednesday mornings, and Friday mornings, and all in preparation of stuff we'll talk further about on Vision Profiles Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at youtube.com/@Vision Profiles. That is our YouTube channel. You can find us there. All of this gets pushed to YouTube. It also gets pushed out. The audio portion gets pushed out in a podcast, so you can check that out after Monday night. We weekly produce the podcast. Hey, we'd love to hear from our listeners. If you have ideas or want to join an episode, email us at thepodtalknetwork@gmail.com. That is thepodtalknetwork@gmail.com. I try to pay attention to notices that I get on YouTube when they come through, but email is the surefire way to get it to us. Learn more about us and the Vision Profile podcast at our website, thepodtalk.net. So that links to Vision Profiles, it links to the other podcasts that I'm involved in, and the other podcasts that I'm on. Spread the word to other visionaries. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.